Would you say, because a lot of your first EP is a lot of heartbreak, what's gonna be like the vibe?
There's always gonna be heartbreak songs, don't you worry.
Period, okay. What's poppin'? It's your girl, Mommy Tiff, and this is Off the Record. And today, we're having a on-set little BTS moment with singer, songwriter, and violinist Izzy Escobar to talk about her creative process as a songwriter, her latest new single, Hotshot Extra Time. And she might even give us a little something on her upcoming debut album. Everybody welcome Izzy Escobar. How are you today?
I'm great, I'm excited to be here. How are you?
I'm feeling amazing. We're matching, we got the
Sport
pink,
heroes.
Yes, the pink and green vibes going on. So in a past interview, you've talked about how Joshua Tree was really a space for you to be able to like find yourself. How do you find these quiet spaces and corners in New York City?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, New York is a crazy environment, and especially when you're in an environment that's so wild like that, I think it's important to ground yourself. And for me, grounding myself is really just me being in my bedroom with my keyboard and kind of going back to the basics. And I've always found my source of inspiration through writing by freestyling with no one watching me and just literally singing my heart out. The lyrics that I come up with are based upon the chord progressions that I play. Freestyling and being in the moment and the beauty of imperfection to me is so important. I think many things I always thought were imperfect that I would sing have ended up becoming some of my favorite lyrics that I've written.
You were such a music theory girl, because the way that you just pulled in all like the different elements of music and putting yourself in that space, what was going through your mind when Extra approached you to make the summer soccer anthem?
I was first so excited because I've always wanted to write a very anthemic song, and this was the perfect opportunity to do that. So I kind of got to throw myself into something that I've always wanted to do but never have. And I loved that Extra was kind of promoting this idea about presence and being in the moment. And I got to tune into what maybe mentally it's like to be an athlete and write from that perspective.
And you feel that throughout the song, like the vibe, you could tell it's leading up to this moment, so yeah.
Thank you.
Of course, of course. How do you make the decision on what the first line is gonna be specifically with this song? Because you have to grab the listener's attention.
Totally, I mean, I thought it was, a good idea to frame the first line as like, okay, extra time. We're in extra time and setting the scene. And I always think it's important to build a world around the song that you're making, and something that you need in a world is the setting. Feeling all the pressure, the amount of weight that's on you.
Yeah.
I feel that as a musician, and I can only imagine what it's like when you're feeling that as an athlete on the field.
Yeah, and you have the whole pre-chorus that leads up. Talk to me about the bridge. How did you come up with the bridge?
Well, I feel like whenever I hear some of my favorite anthems, I'm always wanting there to be like a hype buildup, right? As if we're like in the game, we're in the moment, we're going to extra time. And so I felt like it did need to pull back a bit and then crescendo up into something fuller.
Okay, so let's talk about some of these lyrics and how you implemented like the concept of chewing gum.
Totally. I really wanted the pre-chorus, per se, to have the chew into it line because I thought it was important where it's like, okay, the verse is, we're going into extra time, feeling all the pressure, gotta get into it, get myself together.
Yeah.
And then for the pre-chorus, I was like, okay, we need to be in the moment, we're on the field, we need to lock in right now. How are we going to frame that? And so that's why I wanted to end the pre-chorus with chew into it right now.
Okay.
To kind of be like, no, it's in this moment right here. And then that leads into if you were such a hotshot.
When writing this song, was there any challenge lyrically? And if they were, how did you overcome it?
I feel like one of the most difficult parts to write was actually in the verse because it starts with, we're going into extra time, feeling all the pressure. Gotta get into it, get myself together. So I had that framework, but then I was like, okay, I'm under a lot of pressure, but I love to also talk about the opposing side of things, and it's like, I'm under a lot of pressure, but what do I wanna feel? And it took me a long time to come up with the next line, which is just, so I can feel light just like a feather. So then I added a new melodic cadence on the word wind, and I just did, I can feel light just like a feather. And then I did wind. Like I wanted there to be something that was very me and also flowy.
A nice riff.
A nice riff, like,
Yes.
and something flowy to oppose with this idea of like being under a lot of pressure. Where do we want to get to?
If you had to choose a favorite line from the entire song.
It would definitely be if you were such a hotshot. I have to hone in on that one.
Yes. What was the moment for you where you were like, this is it?
I feel like there's such a relief after the breakdown. Give me that extra time. And I put a sub melody over it that's like, won't you give me? And I wanted this call and response as if you're, doing like a crowd and a person chant. That eventually builds into one vocal that's just like that extra time, and it's this big note at the top.
I like how you basically tried to implement crowd participation into the song. That also feels very thematic with sports.
I mean, oh my gosh, how fun would it just to be like, give me that extra time, extra like,
nice call and
do a call and
response.
response. I would freak out.
I would love to talk about, your upcoming debut album. When you're trying to get into album mode, what that process looks like. Do you have to get into a quiet place?
I ask myself the same thing. I'm like, okay, I have to make an album. Where do I start?
Yeah.
But the truth is every day is different, and I think it's just really important to give yourself grace. And when a moment of inspiration strikes, like, take out your pen and paper, take out your phone, start singing in your voice memos, because a seed of an idea might turn into the most beautiful thing, and you don't know that yet.
Yeah.
And so I really, during this process, took it day by day and just listened to my gut.
Yeah.
And started, writing string melodies, and we cut everything live here in New York. So I feel very, very proud of it. I'm excited to share it with the world.
And if you could give us how many tracks do you think it'll be?
Somewhere around 11, 12, if I had to tell you, but
Okay.
not reveal too many secrets.
Okay. And would you say, because a lot of your first EP is a lot of heartbreak, what's gonna be like the vibe?
There's always gonna be heartbreak songs, don't you worry. For this album, it's definitely a new era that I'm walking into, but I feel like, when you do your first project, you're also deciding, where do I lie sonically? What's my world? What's my vision? And so I got to have a bit more fun in a way with this project because I have a better sense of self and sound.
Izzy, I've really enjoyed this conversation with you today. I'm appreciative that you were able to break us down your whole writing process. But before you go, can I just get a little, extra time with you?
I mean, absolutely, yes.
Just some gum?
Let's do it.
You wanna do a little cheers?
Absolutely, gum cheers.
Gum
Woo!
cheers. Thank y'all at home for tuning into the premiere episode of Off the Record with our girl, Izzy Escobar. As always, thanks for watching. Mommy Tiff, out.